All right, everybody, welcome to Meet the Leadership. I'm Justin Kaiser, co-founder of Solar Grids. Today, you're going to get to hear the story behind Solar Grids and Stardust, and also get a behind-the-scenes look at the operations and training. And then we're going to open up the floor for a Q&A. So you're going to leave here with a better understanding of what's next for you. So now I'd like to introduce Mark Tadros. He's not just leading the company, he's actually started off in solar by being on roofs and doing installs themselves. So Mark's unique in that respect. He's got a proven track record of scaling businesses and leading the vision behind Stardust. His expertise in solar operations and leadership has made the merger between Solar Grids and Stardust an absolute game changer, really positioning us for even greater success. So today, he's here to share the story of Stardust Solar, why the merger made strategic sense, and what it all means for all of us moving forward. So Mark, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Justin. I appreciate that intro. Nice to be here with everybody today. What I'll do today is just try to keep things a little bit informal, but, really give you a sense of the background of the company, where it began, and also the future and where we're going. I think it'll also be really important to touch a bit on how our franchise model works and what you get out of a system like we've built. Before I get into all that, let me just start by introducing myself. So yes, I'm Mark Tadros, founder, CEO of Stardust Solar. We've been in business for almost a decade now, and our company actually began as an installation business where, Justin's right. We were getting up on roofs, experiencing installation. So we really understand the core business here, which is installing solar on residential properties and light commercial properties. Very quickly, I recognized this company needed a signature. It really needed a niche, something to cut us out and make us unique in the industry. And that's when we created Stardust Solar Training and Compliance. It just so happens that in my previous entrepreneurial life, I had a lot of experience building companies in the training and compliance space. So I knew that business model extremely well. However, there was nothing in the solar industry assuring compliance, ensuring that training is up to par, and offering people a foundation to start their business in solar installation. So we took the National Electrical Code and the Canadian Electrical Code and built our own internal curriculum. This ended up getting certified by NABCEP in the US and also by CSA, the governing authority in Canada. So here we are, Stardust Solar Training, 8 years ago, coming out with this great training program that's accredited on both sides of the border. That's the foundation for our company. It's where it began. And we trained over 2,500 people in North America through our program. We were doing classes 9 times a month in every corner of the continent. We were doing, Anaheim, Chicago, Illinois, Jacksonville, Florida. We were in Seattle, Washington, Montreal, Quebec, Vancouver, Toronto. We were literally doing classes every month across the continent. And then we got hit with COVID, and that really changed the story of our business. We couldn't run classes. We couldn't run workshops anymore. And that's when we had to re-envision the business. So we went back to our 2,500 students and asked them a really simple question. How can we help you? What can we do at Stardust to serve you and help you be successful? And everybody wanted the same things. They wanted access to good quality equipment. They wanted branding help. They wanted engineering help. And that's when the light bulb went off. And I said, this is not a training business. This is actually a franchise. So we launched in 2021 Stardust Solar Franchise. And it just took off. We scaled up very quickly to 31 locations. And just last year in October, we actually listed our company on the Canadian Stock Exchange, the TSXV. Huge moment for our company, lots of momentum. And then very shortly after that, we came to a union with Solar Grids, which is how we came about today. So we accomplished a merger through the public markets that brought both of these brands together. We recognized up here that we have a great training platform, but it was necessary that we had a great American brand with American leadership, such as Justin, to help us grow our business. So we partnered together, merged both companies together, and today you're talking to the largest solar franchise business in North America, sitting on 78 territories, 78 franchises across the entire continent, and we're growing at 50 to 100% year over year. So that's a really quick background on the company and how we came to be where we are today. Now, the future is looking even brighter. What we'll do is use the public markets to raise capital, grow the business, and grow very quickly. Our goal this year is to get ourselves over 100 franchise locations and then very quickly do an uplisting to the NASDAQ. Now, if we can achieve those two key milestones for the year, you'll be looking at 100% growth in the year 2026, which will put us over 200 locations in North America very, very quickly. It's an exciting time to be part of Solar Grids and Stardust Solar. Now, I'd like to talk to you a bit about the responsibilities about being a franchisee in our solar system. You know, everybody asks me, what do I get out of this? You know, I'm going to pay into your system. I'm going to pay a royalty. You know, why don't I go out on my own? Why would I do this with you? And there's a lot of reasons why. So let me explain to you exactly what you get in our system, buying a Stardust Solar franchise or a Solar Grids franchise. The first thing is you're going to get our accredited training. You know, again, that's the foundation of our entire business model. Buying into our system, you're going to get certified through our company. You're going to get a NABCEP certificate. And that does two things, really. One, it gives you a lot of confidence because you're getting accredited training. But two, it's telling all your customers that if they go to the Solar Grids brand or do business with you, that they're dealing with certified installers, people who have been trained. So first thing you get is training. The second thing you're going to get is branding, website, digital marketing. These are all things small businesses don't want to have to spend their time to manage. You know, who wants to come up with a new solar name or a new solar business for your local market? You're much better off using our national brand, Solar Grids. And that'll give you quick access to brand recognition, a beautiful website that will manage for you. And we have a team of digital marketing experts that'll be controlling all your ads, all of your digital ads. The third thing we're going to do is provide you with great software to do all your quotes for your clients. We'll teach you how to use the software. You'll be very efficient and you'll be whipping out quotes for clients in no time. We also have engineers at head office that can help you do those quotes if you're not able to do so, but we're going to walk you through that process. Something that's normally very time consuming, we'll be able to get you up and running with a dynamic platform. You'll be able to quote on site and even make updates if necessary. The fourth thing you're going to get from our franchise package is engineering services. Now, this one's big. Engineering is a very time-consuming and precise technical documentation that you're going to have to produce for your local municipality to get your permits. We have electrical engineers on staff that are going to be doing all your plans for you, contacting local structural engineers in your regions to get these documents stamped. And that's something I can tell you would take you a tremendous amount of time. But again, by buying into the Solar Grids or Stardust franchise, you're able to get access to these services through one email or one quick phone call. The fifth thing we do for you, which is probably the most important, is supply chain and logistics. This is critical. You don't need to have a warehouse or a storefront to buy a Stardust or Solar Grids franchise. You can do this from your home or even from a work truck if you wanted to. At the end of the day, we have warehouses all over North America with staffing that'll be distributing equipment right to your client's home. So you don't have to worry about managing supply chain, managing logistics. The way it works is you sell a client, let's say Mrs. Jones in Arkansas, and we will ship all the equipment right to Mrs. Jones's house, palletized and wrapped. You'll receive your packing slip, and then you and your team show up on site, review the materials, and execute the installation. So no warehousing needed in our system. The next thing we do for you is partnerships. And again, this is about as big as it gets. When you buy into Solar Grids, or Stardust, you get access to our partners, ones that we've been working on for 10 years. One of the biggest names you'll get access to and training from is Tesla. So buying into our system, we'll actually be able to get your team Tesla certified as an installer. So you're able to not just promote the brand, you're going to be able to install it in the field, and you'll be able to sell it to your clients. You know, this is huge. Getting access to Tesla brand is extremely difficult, but also recognized around the world. This will really help you with your clients, and it'll make your solar business unique, because I can guarantee you not all your competitors will have access to that brand. The next thing we do for you is financing. You know, a lot of these smaller solar businesses run into clients that really want to do business with them, but the homeowner doesn't have the upfront cash. No problem. We have a solution for you. What we'll do is set up third-party financing, again, through our partnerships, so that every client you have is able to get serviced by your franchise. And the best part of this is you, the franchisee, gets paid up front, and then the homeowner takes on the loan for the next 10 or 15 years, whatever the terms are. And finally, again, another really big benefit that's unique to our system, to our franchise system, is we'll provide you with a stock option plan for your franchise. Now, this is something super rare in franchising in general and does not exist except for at our company in the solar franchise world. What does that mean? You'll be receiving stock options as an upfront bonus for signing onto our system, and you'll be earning stock options for the life of your contract with our franchise based on your performance in the field. Now, the beauty of this is you're now earning equity in head office while you're earning revenues in dollars in your local franchise business. You see, we're now tethered together. So what's good for you is good for head office. And as head office grows, your equity grows. And I can tell you from being an entrepreneur for over 15 years, the key to wealth is getting yourself some access to equity. And we're now offering that to you. So that's a quick summary of everything you're going to get from a Stardust or Solar Grids franchise. Very quickly, I'd like to highlight the responsibilities of the franchisee. You, the entrepreneur, the boots on the ground driving the business. There's two things you have to be able to do very, very well. The first is you need to be able to execute installations in compliance. So you're going to need to be able to pass inspection. We want to make sure that the roof work is done properly. Everything has to be done to code, and you're going to need to have an electrician in your system at some point. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying you need to go hire someone tomorrow, hire an electrician tomorrow. You can use subcontractors, but the field work has to be done in compliance and be able to pass inspection. It's not just important for you and your reputation, you're also carrying our brand. So it's important for the whole system to have that standard. The second thing you have to be able to do is sell. Let's face the facts. You're an entrepreneur. You're building a solar business in your local market. We will not be there to go do door knocking with you and shake hands with people. You need to be able to do the local sales. Now, you're going to get plenty of training and support on this, and we're going to produce a ton of digital marketing for you, but you need to be able to sit at the kitchen table, shake hands with somebody, kiss a baby, pet a dog, get them to sign a contract. It's really important that you're moving the business on a local level while we're helping you with the macro marketing. If you can do those two things, you're sure to be a success in our franchise system.
All right. Thanks so much, Mark. I know you've got a meeting you got to run to, so we'll talk to you a little later.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thanks,
Yep.
Mark.
So everybody, as you can see, Solar Grids and Stardust Solar really has it all. We've got the team, we've got the leadership, we've got the system, the technology, we've got the training, we've got the operations, the support. We've got everything that you need to succeed here in your own solar business. So what I'm going to do now is introduce Eamon McHugh. Eamon McHugh is our COO. He's going to go into a little bit more in depth on as far as what our operational structure looks like. He's going to walk you through the training programs and processes. And he's also going to explain how franchisees are trained and supported to build a successful solar grids or Stardust Solar business. So Eamon, if you would, just go into a little bit more detail on those aspects.
Yeah, absolutely, Justin. Thank you. Yeah, so I can get into a little more detail in the nuts and bolts, the operations, the training, the support that we offer for our franchises and how it makes them successful. Start with a little background on myself. I started as a master electrician. I've got over 15 years of experience in this industry, in the solar industry. I started as a master electrician, dual ticketed in controls. I used to build massive robotic systems for, manufacturing and such. And I got really tired of seeing my work replacing people's jobs and them going home at the end of the project. And I was very much attracted to the ethical and environmental purpose of renewable energy. So when I got into solar, I worked as a master electrician for a while, and I got to work with a lot of companies. I eventually got into consulting and working on growing and building new solar companies and adding solar divisions to existing contracting companies. And then I met Mark probably about 7 years ago now. I traveled around a lot teaching inspectors, electricians, solar installers, entrepreneurs looking to start their solar businesses. And then when we finally, launched the franchise, that's around the time I came in as a partner. It just took off like crazy. And we found there was such a strong demand from all of our students that it took more than just a few weeks of training to really be successful. So once we packaged up the full business in a box with the full support and service package along with the training, that foundation of training and operational support really gave our franchisees such a strong foundation for success. So what that starts with, I'll get into a little more detail than Mark did. As far as the training fees are included in the initial franchise fees. And that includes an introduction training that'll give you a strong roadmap, checklist of everything you need to do to get your franchise business ready for your marketing launch and up and running. From there, we also have NABCEP accredited technical training. That's 4 days of solar design and installation theory that's accredited by NABCEP for the NABCEP Associate Certificate. We also have the NABCEP accredited PV technical sales training, which gets into a lot more details on the economics, the return on investment for your customers, whether they're a homeowner or a business, and how all the math that goes into that as far as what you're presenting to consumers so you can educate them on how it truly benefits them financially. There's also a large selection of small segment business training. You're going to meet with me on operations for operational training. You're going to be meeting with our national sales manager for CRM training and sales training, and even practicing sales with them, getting on a call, taking turns, calling leads. You'll also be meeting with a project manager to run you through the do's and don'ts of managing your projects. And you'll meet with one of our designers about all the details that go into designing a solar proposal for your customers. So along with all of that, we'd also be getting you set up with different training portals for all the major manufacturers. You'd be getting set up with your access to Tesla Powerwall training, EV charger training, on-phase, all the major manufacturers of inverters and energy storage systems. And then finally, when it comes time to getting your first project and getting your team out, we'll send out a professional installer to install that with you, whether it's your home, friends and family, or your first customer, to make sure that project goes smoothly and to make sure that you and your whole team are trained on, not just the code, but also high standards of quality. So that's the training suite that gets you from A to B as far as signing up, getting started with your business, getting to marketing launch, installing your first project. And then we stay with you for at least the first 3 projects. By then, you have a really strong foundation of knowledge and how to run and operate your business. Then as far as operations, when we look at a solar business, Mark mentioned quite a few inclusions that come with the franchise, your territory, your access to partnerships. There's all those tools that are available for you. But when you're running a solar business, it takes more than just a construction business, right? So what a solar business is really made up of, you need business development, that's digital advertising, sales. And then the solar production business is really engineering, procurement, and construction. So what we've designed is to enable our franchisees to run a construction business while we're providing a full head office team of support to provide all those professional services like digital advertising, engineering, procurement, and managing all those logistics. So you don't have to hire a team, start a whole office, have an engineer on staff and all these things. You have our head office there to service and support you. So starting at the top, what that starts with is our digital advertising. We will manage all the digital ads for local marketing in your territory, along with all the other advertising we're doing. We will have sales support here to help call, qualify, and support you in generating more sales and working with your leads. You'll be doing that in our CRM system as well, where everybody collaborates. We also have a full-time team of designers. So you'll get access to our design software so you can spit out quick proposals and quotes to your customers, which is quite advanced. And we'll also have designers to help you put together proposals and solar designs and estimates for your customers. So that's going to help you generate a lot more business. And then when it comes to actually servicing your customers and your jobs, you're going to have a dedicated account manager at head office who's going to help you to manage your whole portfolio of projects. You're going to have an engineer that's going to provide you with your engineered plan set. And then your account manager is also going to manage all the logistics of procuring all your product. So what you're buying with us is not just a one product order off the shelf at full market price. They're pooling your purchasing with all the purchasing of all the other franchises so that we collectively are moving megawatts of product, giving you access to the bulk pricing of a large company. That's a huge advantage in the solar industry. So what that leaves for the franchisee, as Mark mentioned, is really just local marketing. You'll be attending trade shows, doing different local marketing activities. You'll be doing sales, local sales, going out, meeting homeowners and business owners with a proposal in hand and a contract and signing them up. And then you'll be managing with our training and support, getting the permits and completing the installations. So we've created this whole well-rounded support team and operational system to enable you to be able to work on your local sales and work on your local construction projects with a strong team of professionals behind you. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, Justin.
All right. Thanks, Eamon. If you could just go into a little bit more in depth of what training actually looks like, as far as how many days are they going to receive training, virtual versus in person, all of that.
Yeah, so the timeline for that can be done pretty quickly. We really want to get you in your introduction training and book your technical training right away. We want to make sure we can try and get to the marketing launch as quickly as possible so we can start advertising. You're trained enough at that point to be able to start talking to customers, to start filling the pipeline. We want to get to market as quickly as possible. So, day one, we'll do your introduction training, and then we'll get you into some brief sales product trainings so that you can talk the talk, walk the walk with customers. At that point, we would launch some marketing, and then our sales team, along with you, would start generating some interest and filling the pipeline. From there, all the professional certification training would continue. You'd be going through the 4-day NABCEP Associates Solar Design and Installation training. Then you'd be going through the 4-day NABCEP accredited PV technical sales training. And then by the end of that, along with some of the Tesla certifications and stuff that are necessary, by the time you get to your first project, you and your team are absolute professionals and ready for the hands-on training to complete that job. So the whole process is about 2 to 3 months to get up and running and start executing your first jobs. And that's the process.
All right. Awesome. Thanks so much, Eamon. I think that gives everybody a high-level overview of what training looks like, what they can expect. As you can see, everybody, we've got everything you need. We've got the system, we've got the training, we've got the people, we've got the entire processes. You can step into this business. It's a proven system. It's like a roadmap to wealth. All you need to do is follow along the track that we've already laid out for you. Sure, there may be some bumps in the road, but if you just stay the course, you just stay persistent, you don't give up. If you just follow this plan that we've already laid out for you, you're going to get to your destination as long as you've got a roadmap to get there.